What's going on out there, drivers? Today I want to talk to you about how to read an atlas. I know you should learn this in school, but a lot of people do not learn this. So I'm going to try the best of my teacher to give you a brief layover about a atlas and why we should carry it. Number one, you should definitely have an atlas on you at all times. You got to be able to keep an atlas. You got to be able to see one, be able to use one. You can't just rely on GPSs. But I'm going to go through why it's important to have one of these. I've got the new 2023 Ram McNally Motors Carrier Road Atlas. Now, there's a lot of things to an atlas. I'm not going to go over the whole thing in depth in this video, but I'm going to go over a few brief things that I use. All right, number one, when I open an atlas, I want to go and I want to look and see what my bridge laws are for each state. So I'm going to go to that real quick. You've got the operating authorities numbers if you need them. You get your oversized weight here if you need them. I don't use a lot of that, but I do go to my bridge laws. I do check it out. Like I said, it's right here. Let me go there real quick. All right, here we go. It'll show me the weight and size limits. It shows me my bridge laws here for each state and the amount of weight on each axle for every state. So that is very important to me. But besides that, then you've got your radioactive materials. If you do hazmat, I don't use hazmat, but if you did, you need to know who to call if something happens. But here's what I use it for. All right, let's say I'm going to Florida right here. This is going to show me every place that's low clearance, mainly in truck routes. Right here, it says low clearance locations, and I have that. It's also going to let me know my weight stations. If you ever been wondering, like, damn, when's the next weight station? Or when's is there a weight station coming up? Or what's going on with that? Or I like to park at a weight station or whatever. This will tell you the mile markers for each weight station. It also gives you a map key. We're going to go over the map key in a minute. But so you got Georgia, you got all the different states right here. So it's very important if you want to know like where your weight stations are. Boom, your low clearance locations, permanent weight stations, and restricted routes. Like here in Illinois, these are restricted routes. These highways right here are restricted. You're not allowed to use those. So I use that a lot in my atlas. I'll pull up, where the weight station is. It's quicker than actually using Google, believe it or not. As long as you know how to use one of these. And I got the laminated kind, so I can write in it with dry erase marker or whatever. But so anyway, so let me go over a few other things with you. Get through these states here. And it's even got Canada in here too, parts of Canada, whatever. Let's see. All right, we're going to use Alabama just for start with. Here in Alabama, we can look up mile markers. Like you can look right here. These are at mile marker 200, 205, 208, 219, 228. You can see how many mile markers they are, and you can see how for each state, each highway, how the mile markers work. Now, if you don't know what mile markers are the miles between each state. If you're going north, they count up. If they're going south, they count down. So, for example, if I'm right here at mile marker 128, I'm 128 miles from Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Or almost 65, you have the end of 65 down here near Mississippi. Let's say I was in Georgia and I was at mile marker 305, that I'm 305 miles from south to the Florida line. So, very important to use it for your directions. You can see which roads you can use. But here's another cool thing. Back in the day, if you go to the very back, this right here is your miles directory. Let's say right here, if I want to look up Pine Bluff, Arkansas, you can look up any city, but look at, say, Pine Bluff. It's in alphabetical order. Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and then I want to know how far it was to, let's say, Rockford, Illinois. Then I would follow this line right here all the way till I found Rockford, Illinois, which is 682 miles. So I know I'm 682 miles from this city to this city. You can do that with all of the cities, all the major cities right here. It'll tell you how far it is from mileage to mileage if you don't have a phone or you don't know how to Google it. So very important to use that. That's just one thing. And then as far as your map directory, I'm going to show you how that works. Let's say you look up a city, and you looked up some crazy city. You know exactly where it was. Let's say I was looking up Dallas, Georgia. If I wanted to find Dallas, Georgia, I would look in the back, Dallas, Georgia, and it would tell me the key. Like this is, I'm sorry, here's Dallas, Texas, not Dallas, Georgia, Dallas, Texas. It would be like ED 8. And you can follow EE8, will follow it right over here to Dallas. So you have numbers up here, and you have letters down here. So any city you can look up in the directory, and you can go to that city and then go right over to the number, and you can pinpoint it. So if it's a small-ass city that you don't know, like one way down here, you can look it up in the back, and it'll take you right to it. So that's just a brief overlay of how to use an atlas. I believe everybody should have one. That way you know your laws, your regulations, you know your numbers to call if you need it, and you're never going to worry about getting lost. It has a lot of information. It also lets you know rest areas. I forgot to tell you that. It also lets you know state parks and rest areas. Has a map directory there. It doesn't have truck stops, but it has rest areas and state parks. So hope this video helped you out. If it did, hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel. If you're new to it, it's called Trucking Life with Sean. After you subscribe, check on videos. Click on videos. I have a lot of other videos that may help you out. Hope this helped you out. Let's get it.